Some breaking news right now. Disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein has taken his own life while he was behind bars here in New York City. Epstein was facing trafficking charges.
It reinforced the research that I did on my book that Jeffrey Epstein has always viewed himself as smarter than everybody else, and he also has collected people all along the way, particularly over the 2 decades through his trafficking. And that was always to get secrets and bits of information about individuals that he could pass to other people. He trafficked.
Doesn't it? She probably wants to get out early. So I think that we have more digging to do. I think the DOJ transparency effort here is the right thing. But the reason it's on a Friday, Will, is I think there are no smoking guns. There's other places we have to look.
Well, Buck, you approach.
What if one of America's most carefully packaged family men wasn't just brushing up against Jeffrey Epstein's world, but operating inside the same protected ecosystem that kept powerful predators untouchable for decades? That is the question hanging over Steve Harvey right now as new Epstein files hit Washington in November 2025. And a familiar pattern of names, timelines, and cozy friendship starts to overlap in ways that are getting harder to explain away. We are not talking about a random mention in a stray email. We are looking at a web where Epstein's emails, Diddy's conviction, and Harvey's own household drama all seem to converge around the same years, the same circles, and the same chilling silence.
He took my Winton from me. He turned my son against me.
Mother is 54 years old. Her mother is 5 years older.
49.
Diddy is 49 years old.
Oh, man!
That is a 27-year...
In mid-November 2025, lawmakers in the U.S. House released more than 20,000 pages from the so-called Epstein files, covering correspondence from roughly 2008 to 2019. Those documents include emails where Epstein bragged that Donald Trump knew about the girls and referenced long hours spent at his homes with witnesses like House staff, confirming how much the former president saw. At the same time, Democrats and Republicans went back and forth over who was cherry-picking which emails, each side accusing the other of trying to shape the story. That fight might sound political on the surface, but for us, it matters because it proves one thing. These files are not just gossip. They are now part of a public record that is pulling more names and more relationships into the light. Now, layer that over what happened with Sean Diddy Combs in 2024. After years of rumors and civil cases, federal prosecutors brought a sweeping case against him, built on testimony from ex-partners and former insiders describing what they called freak-offs that stretched back to at least 2008. By mid-2025, a New York jury had cleared him on the most severe charges like racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking by force, but still found him guilty on 2 counts of transporting people across state and international lines for paid intimate encounters. Each count carries up to 10 years, and he is currently serving a 50-month sentence at a federal facility in New Jersey with a new projected release date in June 2028. After a recent adjustment to his status behind bars, while his legal team plans to appeal, and he continues to deny wrongdoing, the testimony about prolonged choreographed encounters, filmed and used as leverage, has already destroyed the wholesome mogul image he once sold.
So I just keep going through. But then I tell you something too, haters motivate me. Because when they talking about me, that means I'm doing it. Now, I'm a Christian, but I ain't that good a Christian.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Well, Steve's learning that the hard way tonight. Steve's ex-wife, Mary Harvey, is angry, and she's going...
This is where Steve Harvey enters the frame. While Epstein was sending strange, arrogant emails about presidents and power brokers, and Diddy was allegedly building an entire shadow operation to manage his private appetites, Harvey was becoming daytime television's moral referee. He was the guy lecturing callers and guests about standards, responsibility, and how women should demand better from men. Yet, behind that image, his own ex-wife Mary was accusing him in filings and online videos of psychological torment, financial games, and what she dramatically described as soul destruction, a term she used for a mix of alleged torture, deprivation, and mental breaking. A $60 million suit she filed in 2017 claiming everything from conspiracy against rights to emotional torment would ultimately be thrown out on jurisdictional grounds, with a judge saying it belonged in Texas and Harvey's team calling it frivolous and completely false. But the accusations themselves never really vanished. They just stopped being discussed on camera.
That are suddenly going to be in the spotlight, and that's just a kind of a strange scenario that we're finding ourselves in. As to why they released it, I mean, look, the grand jury materials, I think, were kind of properly protected by a judge who said, no, it's not enough just that the world's really excited and wants to know kind of scurrilous details about Epstein and Maxwell. The judge, I think, properly, respected the statutory protections.
He's a man with the power. He's in 60 markets. He's written these books. He's socially connected with the programs and Disney and all these type.
By 2019, all of these threads were moving at once. Epstein was still alive and emailing journalists and associates. Diddy was still on top of music and nightlife, running brands and throwing carefully curated events. And Steve Harvey's household was becoming a tabloid storyline because of his stepdaughter, Lori. That summer, Lori Harvey, then in her early 20s, was photographed repeatedly with Diddy, who was in his late 40s, traveling in Cabo, strolling in New York in matching outfits, and sitting at lunch in Italy with Lori's mother and Steve himself at the table. Photos from August showed Lori with her arm around Diddy while dining with her parents, a visual that instantly turned a rumored romance into a public talking point. Fans flooded comment sections, asking why a man who built a career as America's dad was okay with his stepdaughter being romantically linked to a man almost 3 decades older. Especially a man already shadows by long-running whispers of controlling behavior and strange private gatherings.